It's Friday, officially. Technically, it's Groundhog Day again, because we approach the weekend wondering what on earth next week is going to look like. And particularly, I think, wondering what's going to happen when these three phenomena, and every time I say that word, I'm 50 in January, and every time I say the word phenomena, I do the next bit of the Muppets theme tune silently in my head. I suppose it's progress in the context of maturity that I used to do it out loud. Phenomena. Yeah. But I digress. Three phenomena due to collide on Monday, I think, on Monday morning or Sunday at midnight. I forget technically the precise time. And I don't know what it is going to look like. It is simply a mystery. The three phenomena that are set to collide are, in no particular order, the app going off like nobody's business. Is it 3 weeks ago, 3 Mondays ago, or 4 Mondays ago, that I sat here at 2 minutes to 10, and all we had talked about that morning in the office was people being pinged. It was literally all we'd been talking. Was it a Friday? Actually, rather than, doesn't matter, does it? The point is, it was a Friday. It was a Friday, and it's Friday again today. I told you it was Groundhog Day. And because all we talked about that morning in the office was people getting pinged, people we knew, our children at school, our children's friends, cohorts, colleagues, people getting pinged to the left of me, pinged to the right of me. Onwards, pinging everywhere. And at 2 minutes to 10... shortly after 10 o'clock, while I was listening to the news bulletin, I thought, do you know what? I think this is actually more important than anything that is currently in the bulletin. Remember that when I decide what we're going to talk to each other about in the morning, I am not necessarily, by any stretch of the imagination, looking for the biggest story of the day. I mean, the single most important. If there was some objective measure for the importance of a story, we would not, for example, be largely confined to the domestic news agenda. Climate change would probably be our 10 o'clock topic every single day at the moment, in many ways, once COVID has moved along. But in the terms of what we talk about together, it just suddenly struck me, as it does occasionally, that what we are talking about together in real life, for want of a better phrase, is the single most important thing in front of us at the moment. So we went all in on the pinging app, and boom, switchboard went off like a firework display, and absolutely everybody, it seemed, listening to the programme had a tale of isolating in circumstances that made little or no sense, businesses being brought to their knees by, already struggling with staff shortages because of the B word, which we'll try to get to 11 o'clock today without saying out loud, and the pinging app just ripping through their workforce like a dose of salts, and schools and colleges and all the rest of it. So that is phenomenon number one, okay, the pinging app. Phenomenon number two, I turn once again to the Times newspaper, where every day they print a little table of international data regarding coronavirus infections and the rest of it. There are days where I wonder whether I'm the only one who gets this edition of the Times. We seem some days to be some mornings to be the only people who pay attention to it. So, the tables. This is when I tell you that Germany has now administered 84.2 million jabs, while we have administered 81.4. So we can't even claim to have the fastest or the biggest rollout in Europe anymore. And then I turn the page and we look at the most new cases table, where I'm delighted to tell you we've been pushed back into second place in the entire world by Indonesia. We now have the second highest number of new cases. Yesterday we were, of course, in the world beating top spot. So the figure today is 48,553 new cases. That is phenomenon number two. So you've got your pinging app coming in from the left. You've got your second highest number of new cases in the world coming in from the right. What is the third point of the triangle? The third point of the triangle is Monday, which, if you were to turn from the Times to another Rupert Murdoch-owned newspaper, namely The Sun, you would see that the dread phrase Freedom Day is still in circulation. And in many ways, it is an accurate phrase, albeit that it doesn't really apply in Scotland or in Wales, and somewhat less so in Northern Ireland. In England, it will be up to you as a business owner or as an individual, a member of the public or a shopkeeper, a nightclub owner or indeed a bus driver. It will be effectively up to you to implement what ceases to be rules and instead becomes guidance. And the fact that people are still using Freedom Day, and the fact that hashtag It's Over started trending on Twitter pretty much the moment that July the 19th was confirmed as the day on which all restrictions were lifted, means that I expect things to change quite markedly on Monday. I hope they don't in the context of our behaviour, your behaviour, my behaviour. I suspect that the massive majority of us will just continue to be careful. You want to sort of dip a toe back into circulation. You want to move up one gear from where we currently are, but the government is effectively allowing you, and I think encouraging you, although that would be harder to prove, it's certainly allowing you to move up 5 gears in one go. That is phenomenon number 3. So 3 points of a triangle, 3 vehicles heading towards each other at breakneck speed, due to collide on Monday morning. The infection rate, second highest in the world. The pinging app, I mean, millions of people now being taken out of circulation, whether they have the virus or not. In fact, I mean, crucially, of course, for this conversation, millions of people who do not have the virus being taken out of circulation. And Freedom Day. What's going to happen when those 3 things collide?